Shannon Griffith joining us now, and Indiana getting prepared for their spring football game tonight at Indiana's Memorial Stadium. I think they have a free tailgate that starts at like 5:30.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of different things that I saw. So yeah, they're trying
like starting with winning football.
Yeah, tonight's game doesn't count, but I mean,
well, they're guaranteed to win tonight, baby.
Yeah, one side of the ball is going to win tonight, but I think they're doing some things to generate some enthusiasm from the fans, and I think free parking, open admission, kind of come first come first serve, and I believe they're going to have the concessions open on some of the corridors as well. So, hopefully they can, stay away from any weather that may impact it or not. But Big Ten Network's broadcasting, and so yeah, big show tonight for Indiana and Coach Cignetti as we get a first look, so to speak, at the squad. I'm not quite sure he's had too many open quote unquote practices for the outside world, but tonight will be really the true first opportunity to see what they look like.
Yeah, in years past, I'm surprised that they didn't send the players out with numberless jerseys, so you couldn't tell whom was whom. There was almost so much secrecy. It cracked me up. It was like, come on, man, what are you hiding? You're Indiana. But that's no longer the case. And Curt Cignetti opening up things up and looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, both sides, but offensively, Curtis Rourke, what's he going to look like? They've been together for a few months, which that's not a long time, but you've got a lot of new faces that have had to come together quickly. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they've been able to get all of that together on both sides.
Yeah, no question. I think you'll probably see a pretty good mix of rotation at the quarterback position just because of their setup ones and twos, and I think tonight you're going to see Tyler Cherry get a pretty good number of reps as well. Now that Brock Lowry has entered the portal. We're down to 3 on scholarship right now. So
that's until Alberto.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can never do it when I'm here. But here we go. Alberto Mendoza.
Yeah, he almost tripped me up last night on my show, but so I think you'll see some of that going and rotating with different groups tonight. And yeah, they've had quite a few number of incoming players, wide receiver, running back. With it being that it's only going to be 2 15-minute halves, I don't know how many reps will go around. That's not a lot of time. In terms of a repetition, dividing up reps for the players and such. So it'll be interesting to see how it's handled. Spring games, scrimmages, however you want to look at it. I look for it being a very crisp and clean type of scrimmage. If I can see and identify what they're trying to do, what they're running, and it seems like it's clean and there's no major, blow ups because they've, forgot an assignment or things of that magnitude, I think you'll come away feeling pretty good with what they've got and what they've done to this point. Because every coach wants to look like, it comes across like they're coached. They want to see a good, clean, crisp type of scrimmage. His, moniker, fast, relentless, all those type of things out of his offense and defense. But I don't think you're going to see much from an offense or defense standpoint, a pretty vanilla. You won't see a lot of the exotic type of things or formations and things of that magnitude, because you guarantee this game will be taped and recorded by every Big Ten school, because that will be their first look at what potentially is in the hopper here at Indiana. So that's kind of what I'd look for tonight most of all, is the crisp and clean aspect of the game.
Yeah, I don't. You're not going to see a ton offensively, and by that I mean you're not anything outside of your normal type of plays. Nothing special, trick plays, things like that, unless it's just your old-fashioned basic something.
Yeah, you'll see some of that probably,
but not because they don't want. There's only so much that Curt Cignetti would like to have on film for the other teams, that you do want to limit that as much as possible. But once you get into the season, only so much you can limit. But right now, you can limit that up until next September, and then that starts to change, because actually you have to start winning games, of course. But as long as you can stay without that, then the better off. Speaking of which, Michigan getting nailed with some recruiting penalties, 3 years of probation. This has nothing to do with the sign stealing yet. They're yet to be punished for that.
Yeah.
Now, whether that impacts them or not, we'll yet to see. But
it's just a cheeseburger recruiting violation. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Overall, including the sign stealing. But, that's another thing I'm interested to see, is if they're using the communication with the quarterback, via the helmet tonight as well. That being a new rule.
Speaking of sign stealing, which is what got this implemented faster.
Absolutely.
And why they hadn't already been doing it, I don't know.
Well, I'm telling you, they think of the cost of it, but it'll be interesting. To see if that's what they're doing, and whether or not they got the helmets in that they could be capable of doing. So I'm not sure one way or the other. That would be something that I'll be kind of looking for tonight as well. As well as, staying healthy is another thing that you got to do in these type of games. I know that the Ohio State spring game was a what you call a thud type of tag-off system. So you don't have guys taken to the ground, or you have guys that are diving, and you won't see any chop blocking or things of that magnitude. So I'm not quite sure if this will be a true 11-on-11 scrimmage where they're taking it down to the ground, or they're going to do a thud type of deal. Because now the NCAA has limited the number of times that you can actually tackle to the ground. So I'm expecting it to be more of the thud concept of things, with a quick whistle, and the quarterbacks won't be live and things of that magnitude.
It's kind of how I travel when I come into a room with a thud.
You're rocking today. You're on it. It's not a Friday, and you're on.
My heart overfills with joy. It's just those days, man. It's just one of those days. Yeah, when you're watching an NFL game on TV, people, and you see the quarterback, he's got his hands over the ear holes of his helmet because he can't hear what is being said to him. And well, it used to be it's because you couldn't hear. I think they probably have refined these. I'm surprised they haven't actually gone to an earpiece, and maybe there is with these new ones. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you actually have an earpiece like right now.
Yeah.
But with Bluetooth, and so it's Bluetooth, obviously. How do you know that with the things like with Michigan has done in the past?
Yeah.
You've got schools of informatics, baby. How do you know you don't got guys over there hacking into this stuff?
Well, you really don't. But normally, the coaches' headsets are all wireless now, and they're on a dedicated channel. And usually that channel is scrambled just for the utilization of that particular coaching staff and team. So I would imagine that would be the same for the helmet communication for the quarterbacks. And I think they're actually doing it for defense as well for the linebackers. But in this day and age of technology, never say never as it pertains to somebody hacking into something, because at the end of the day, nobody's saying that's not, that's illegal, in terms of everything that goes with it. But my guess is that it's scrambled enough that it won't interfere. Interesting to say that when first thing came out with these wireless headsets and stuff, had a bunch of problems with cell phones, because you'd be in a stadium and if there was a bunch of cell phone activity in and around your transmitter, it would cause interference. So that's why they had to go to these more dedicated channels and scramble and stuff to get away from that aspect of things. So technology advances, and I'm sure that they've got it all figured out, but I don't know if they've been utilizing it or not. So that'll be a thing that I'll be looking for.
A lot of new names we've seen on the Indiana board, guys committing here lately, as Curt Cignetti also building for the future already, which it's not like you can wait around to do that. But for someone that has been as busy as we know that he has been, basically building this team, putting it together, getting it together, but they've been out recruiting all along, and they've been getting commitments all along. So, but it'll be interesting to see. It's going to take belief before I think he lands this first truly big name commit. And that's something that has predates him. So he's going to have to prove that to the better players out there. And by that, I mean Indiana doesn't land 5-star guys.
Right.
But more importantly, getting one of or a couple of the best players that come out of your own state. They don't get that either. That goes to, Ohio State or Michigan, or, Notre Dame,
Miami of Florida.
Hey, man. You said it, I didn't. But so there's it's going to be interesting to see when they get to that point. But tonight's contest is also set up a certain way as far as scoring, because it will be the offense against the defense. So there are ways for the defense to score points the normal way, but then they also get, I think, 4 points for a stop, or 4 points for a turnover, 3 points for a defensive stop, things like that.
Yeah, it's kind of an abbreviated scoring system that I think we've all utilized at one time or another, in whether it be a scrimmage or an actual game set up tonight. But yeah, your standard 6 points for a touchdown, turnover and stops, I think, are worth 4 points each, maybe. But anyway, it's a very standard system. It gives the illusion of some respects of the defense being able to score without actually having to take a ball across the goal line. So it creates some excitement from that way. And these are usually pretty competitive. I mean, the kids take it pretty serious and it's competitive. And I'm not sure if there's any type of reward at the end of the night. We used to do steaks versus hot dogs and that type of stuff that you were playing for. And I would imagine that's true tonight as well.
It should be. I mean, you got to have something. And it should be that. And you should have them serving. One has to serve the other.
Well, it used to be that. Yeah. Losers would serve and only get, hot dogs for the dinner.
And you had to sit there and watch the other guys eat those beautifully made steaks.
Yeah. Usually, and it wasn't cheap steaks either. It was always good steaks.
Hello, everybody. Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and thank you for enjoying our content and videos. And make sure you hit that subscribe and notifications toggle so you don't miss out on anything, whether it's Indiana Hoosiers, the Boilers, the Colts, the Pacers, Indiana high school action, whatever's happening in sports. We're trying to bring it all to you, and make sure you don't miss out on a thing. Again, hit the subscribe button for us. Helps us out a ton. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much.